Hi, delighted today to be joined by Lauretta and Nabawanda from Anglia Ruskin University. Lauretta, thank you so much for your time and having the opportunity to talk to you is going to be great, I'm absolutely sure. You came through Constructionarium a couple of years ago, and so very keen to find out your thoughts, your experiences, and how you've been able to apply it to your studies. But first off, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Right, so I'm Lauretta and I'm currently finishing my studies at Anglia Ruskin. 2 more weeks left to go. Really excited. I've got 10 months experience with design work in civil engineering and also site experience from Constructionarium, which is a good opportunity because I was able to be on site. Yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Great stuff, great stuff. And why did you choose to study civil engineering?
So my choice was based off the subjects I enjoyed while in high school, which is physics and mathematics. So I knew at some point I would do engineering, but towards the end of my A-levels, I actually found the built environment quite fascinating. So I thought, you know what, let me do civil engineering, and up to date, I've really enjoyed it. So I think that was a good choice.
Great stuff, great stuff. And when you Anglia Ruskin had incorporated Constructionarium into their course from probably a good 5-6 years ago now. How did you feel when you heard that you would be attending?
Firstly, I was excited because I love adventure. I'd never been to Norfolk. But I think what the lecturers did was a good job to tell us the benefits of Constructionarium in boosting your employability skills and just something you can add to your CV. Because I think it's a bit difficult to get experience in construction industry depending on where you live. And considering that I'm a girl, it might also be a bit harder. So Constructionarium was a good experience for me to consider, and that motivated me to attend it with a good motive.
Excellent, excellent. And which project did you work on?
So it was the Gherkin in London.
Okay, okay, so that's quite an intensive project that we have. What was your team role within the group?
Right, so I had 2 teams. First, I was part of the surveying team, which I didn't choose. A friend of mine asked me to join, and I thought, okay, why not? And so I had a lot of pressure because one side first, and it meant if we delayed, then the whole project was going to be delayed. So we managed to do that, and then it had to be accurate as well, because if the measures are off, then trust me, the building won't go anywhere. So later on, after we finished most of our work, we couldn't just stand idle. So I joined the steelworks team. I had an option of joining the joinery, which is the carpentry.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what, I think steelworks is really interesting, and I had no knowledge about it. So that was a good opportunity for me to understand how the steel sections are joined together and just understanding the whole process in general.
Yeah, yeah. And how did you work as a team?
Right, so with the surveying, it was easy because we're only 3 people. We just need to set up the total station. One person is doing the levels, so that was good. But with the steelworks, we had to really communicate because anything that goes wrong is definitely delaying the project. Yeah, for example, we got the different steel rings that go on different floors. So it means if one is supposed to on the first floor and you put on the second floor, then that's going to cause problems. And so we had that issue whereby there was different steel rings connected in the wrong places, and we had to take it apart, and it was really frustrating. Yeah,
it's definitely a challenge for sure, and one of the things I think is really good about Constructionarium is that, you know, you're getting to learn those mistakes on site in a safe environment and not causing a massive overspend for the client if you make those mistakes when you're actually on site working for real. So it's a really good testing ground to have that opportunity to find your way. Fantastic. So leading up to the event, what sort of activities did you go through? Did you do any pre-work?
Yes, so we had some sessions to kind of take us through site management and understanding the health and safety. We also had some sessions to help us understand the structure drawings, but those were really brief. So we did most of it when we got to site. Well, not to site, but when we got to Norfolk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of your week itself, you talked about a bit of a challenge with the construction side of things. What worked really well for you during the week?
Okay, so I mean, I love the food. Yeah. And the fact that we were able to do such a project in 4 to 5 days, I think that really showed me, I don't know, it just made me feel so excited about the whole built environment as an industry, and also just that I achieved such a thing and I can talk about it. I've still got pictures I look at. So yeah, that really worked well.
Great stuff, great stuff. And the team that you worked with, had you worked with them before as part of your degree course?
No. So because we got two kinds of civil engineering, so it means most of the times we're not studying together. But then this time we had to work together with also people from construction management. So most of the faces were new. But I think we managed to get along and have some conversations while also doing the work, which was great. Yeah, we made some connections, but I hadn't worked with them before.
No. So it's because of the intensity of it and the sort of real immersive experience, you get to know your colleagues very, very quickly. And that's, you know, that's what happens when you're out on site normally. You know, you are put into organisations and teams where you don't get to choose who those people are. And so you need to work quite quickly to be productive with them to get the job done. Keep the client happy, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So when you completed the Gherkin, obviously you have that celebration where you know, you have your photos taken as you talk about, and everyone's all very happy and smiley, and there is that element of, oh my gosh, you know, we've actually completed something that is fantastic. With the benefit of hindsight, if you had to do that project again, what would you do differently?
So I would pay much attention in the sessions, for example, the briefing sessions, and just understanding the structure drawings, because that was a challenge for me. I had no clue what was going on at some point. I'd look and I'm like, what are we doing? I look at the drawings and I have no clue what they mean. But after taking stuff with guidance, you're like, okay, I see how this relates. So I feel like if I went back and did it again, I would focus more and understand the drawings. And I think this would make my work easier on site and also give me a better understanding of the whole project in general.
Okay. And what would you say is the sort of key learning points that you've taken away from that experience with us?
Key learning was to appreciate work put in by anyone. I think because we did that in the winter and it was so cold, like the temperatures were -101 degrees. So it made me appreciate the people inside, because in the winter, sites continue operating, they don't close. And so if you don't see that bit because you're in office in a nice home environment, then you might underestimate their work. So the key learning was for me to actually value what every person has to input in the whole project. So it's not by one person, but by a team. And so teamwork really came off as a positive thing for me as well. Yeah.
Thinking of the future, what would you tell other delegates that are likely to come through our doors from other universities?
Oh, that is a good one. First of all, students, you should attend Constructionarium if given an opportunity, because you don't need a CV, you don't need a cover letter, you don't need an interview, nothing like that. You just have to turn up. You don't need any skills, because I had no clue what was happening, but I was able to learn a lot by the time we finished. So I would definitely advise anyone who gets the opportunity to attend. And it's also something great to add on your CV, and you can talk about it with your maybe future employers.
Yeah, definitely. It addresses all those competency questions that you're going to face as you come to start looking for a job. And that's interesting, because you're coming to the end of your studies. You've got just a couple of weeks left. So many congratulations on getting through it. But what's next for you in your career plan?
Right, so I hope to start my postgraduate study later in September, but in the meantime, in summer, I hope to do some work experience in the construction industry. So that's something I'm focusing on. So I'd be open to doing any civil works or structures or even infrastructure.
Okay, and have you got any particular locations in mind, or are you looking to stay around the sort of Chelmsford area?
No, I'm quite flexible actually. I live in Southend, so I'm quite flexible in Essex. I've also worked in Hertfordshire, so yeah, I'm an international citizen.
Great stuff, great stuff. Well, I wish you all the best in your next stages. I'm sure Constructionarium will stand you in really good stead. And if we can help in any way, then obviously just let us know. It's been a real delight to talk to you, Lauretta. And thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Julia, for having me.
Pleasure.